Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new edition of Today's Youth. And our main topic today will be art, and we'll be meeting with two young Egyptian artists right after this short break. A group of young Egyptians who were fond of art and understood deeply its influence formed an NGO that aims at helping the community through art. Art Khana started to exist 2 years ago and quickly had 150 joining. The main activity at the start was art workshops, which they started at Old Cairo area, with children living over there, and followed with a similar one at the Cancer Institute. This year, they are working with orphanages on an academic artistic curriculum alongside events like book sales and tours around Cairo.
هيجيلك يوم بعدين تبقى البطل وساعتها يفضل دايما في امل.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to be joined today by Sarah Gafar, President, and Noor Ahmed, artist. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And I will start by you, Sarah, and please tell me about your education and your work, and what does art represent to you?
Okay, so I'm a second year mass comm student. Okay. I work in several writing platforms, and then I've been always passionate about writing specifically. This is what brought me to art at the first place, because art is a way of expressing yourself, and I found that in writing. So that's how I found my way to art.
Right. What about you, Noor?
I'm an applied arts student. It's my first year. I've been passionate about art ever since I was 4. I pursued it in different ways. I started doing music, and I started writing, and I started going to different platforms that allow me to express myself.
Right, Sarah, apart from art classes, what were your first engagements with arts?
I've always been engaged with art since I was a child. I loved carrying on cartoon characters and drawing them in my own pimped way. And then as I grew up, at the age of 15 actually, I started expressing myself through writing in a journal to start with, and then it turned into a more developed one, and then it took that from there to more different writing styles, and this is how I found my way to art.
Right. When was the turning point at which this form of your love to art changed into a serious one?
When I first got published, I wrote an article, and then I sent it to one of my very favorite magazines, and they published it. This is when I started believing in my own art, and I saw that there could be a purpose to what I'm doing. So at the age of like 15 to 16, that's when it changed.
Right. What about you, Noor?
I started copying different kinds of art when I was like 4, and as I started growing up, I realized that I really want to develop my art. I want to have my own identity. I want to leave a mark. So I started following up with how do I develop my own technique. And then I started falling in love with creating art that's based on my imagination. So I kind of fell into place with that.
Right. Sarah, every artist has something that's close to his heart, something in art, I mean, that's close to you, whether painting, whether drawing, certain colors. Would you tell me what's your favorite?
Well, it's a photography project that I've always been passionate about and loved. The message was the main thing about it. It's a photography project by an artist. The photography project is called Scars. And the photography project was aimed at showing how beauty could be found in people who have scars, who have been through a lot. It was a project focused on war survivors. And this is my very favorite piece of art because it was very powerful at delivering the message.
Noor, what's the most favorite to you?
Music has been my favorite thing in the whole entire world. It has always been a way to carry whatever message that you have to carry. It was always able to portray whatever emotion that you're going through, and it could always tell your own story. So I kind of fell into music when I was 11. I started singing and taking classes after to pursue that, and I realized it's more of something that you acquire over time, that people are always convinced it's based on talent, but it's not entirely like that. So I kind of want to continue pursuing that.
Sarah, what's Art Khana? Tell me about Art Khana and how did it start?
Okay, so Art Khana is an art NGO. Well, how does an art NGO function? We actually wanted to do charity and to do community service in another manner, in a different manner that we have to do with art, because we really believe that art is not just limited to making an art piece or so. So 2 years ago, I was at the very early month of being 17, and I met a group of friends who I knew were very passionate about community service, but we're not very usual. They were very unusual people. They were passionate about art. We gathered up, and I told them that I had an idea about using art in a very powerful way and helping other people. We started planning and crafting the idea into a more developed one, and then we launched our project, and then people started. They very much supported what we're doing, and this is how Art Khana started 2 years ago.
Right. Noor, do you think talent is more important or education is more important?
I think education, when it comes to art, in the way of, or the method of practicing, is the constant way to like develop yourself. I do not believe that once you're talented, you shouldn't be doing anything about it. I'm talented and that's that. No, you should always be practicing and constantly telling yourself that you want to get further with this, and you can only get further if you practice and put like further limits to yourself. So that is the way for it.
Right. Sarah, what do you think is more important to you? Is it talent or education? Or both has to go together?
I think both has to work together, because an artist with no education would not know how to like utilize the art in a way that could be powerful and that could reach them to somewhere. So I think education supports art, and they're very like a balanced equation. You can't like remove part of it.
Right. And would you tell me about your fellow artists? How do you develop relations with them? How do you communicate together? How do you help each other?
Okay, so when it comes to the artists that I work with in Art Khana, everyone has something very unique about themselves that they're just waiting for someone to. They're always willing to go out of the box. They're always willing to experiment. They're always willing to make themselves uncomfortable in the sake of creating something that's a masterpiece. So I communicate with them by basically trying to get to know what their dreams are, getting to know what they want to achieve in the world, what message do they want to carry on, what kind of personality do they want to become. So it's always like those conversations and those talks about important things to them that help us figure out what we really want and what we really want to do.
Right. Sarah, tell me about your first art workshop. How was it? What did you include in it? Which art branches was involved in this workshop?
Our first workshop was the workshop that we held in Darb Saida, an area in Masr al-Adima. We worked with kids from over the area. It's a very poor area, as you might surely know. We focused on like implementing something that's new. Art was something that they don't get exposed to in their schools and in their daily lives. So we wanted to introduce that. Day, it was in Ramadan 2014, and we gathered everyone over the area. They started engaging in art workshops. The art workshops were different arts, but the main art workshops that were held that day were painting and photography, sketching. They got to do crafts.
Right, we have a caller online. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? I think there's a problem with the voice. I can't.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Omar Aram. I used to be a multimedia member in Art Khana.
Right.
I witnessed the beginning of Art Khana from the beginning, and it inspired me in many ways. And all the members are really beautiful people from the inside before the outside, and the two people in front of you are really great people.
Right. Would you like to tell them anything special?
Sarah, you're really inspiring, and you always evolve and involve other people in your development as a person, and in Art Khana's development as a whole.
Right. Sarah and Noor, would you like to tell Omar anything?
Thank you very much for always being a good spirit and for supporting what we do and believing in us so much. Thank you.
Noor?
I carried the same message. He's always been supportive of what we do from the very first beginning, and I thank people like that who believe in what we do and believe that we carry a message for the world, so I'm very grateful for this.
Right, Omar, thank you very much for your phone call. And back to you, Noor, you were talking to me about, I would like to know more about your first art workshop.
As a person? Okay, my first art workshop would actually be the exhibition that Art Khana participated in. When I was younger, it felt like this was something I was too shy to pursue, or something that I was too shy to let the people know about. So Instagram and Facebook were like my platform, and that never really did it for me. I wanted to allow people to know that I'm doing something and I'm creating something that I want them to understand that I'm going somewhere with this, that I have a message to carry. So Art Khana's first exhibition, it allowed me to put my pieces there, it allowed me to put my writings there, it allowed me to be a creative person who has something to tell the world. It allowed me to feel like I was being myself in the most upgraded way I could be. I was very proud to be standing there in the moment and saying that I did this.
Right. How do you think can such work develop human beings, change their lives?
Well, they can only change their lives if they have something to pursue, and everyone has something to pursue, but they're too tired to like search for it. Everyone uses this lazy excuse that everything has been done before. But no, I believe that everyone has something that's like 0.1% different than everyone else. And even in that slight chance, they should be willing to take it much further to develop what they really want to develop, and to change, and to allow people to see that they are growing, and to allow people to see that they could be doing something.
Right. Sarah, would you tell me more about your art exhibition? How many artists visit? How did it have impact on other artists?
Okay, so the art exhibition mainly had the most powerful impact on the artists that actually contributed with artwork there. We had over 70 artists contributing with different kinds of art, like photography and painting and sketches and all different kinds of art. We had musicians performing, we had everyone, and it was the first time ever for those artists to be appreciated in our country, in the artistic world. So I think the most powerful impact was over those artists.
Right.
We had over 300 people attending from different art fields, and very established artists who appreciated the young artists' work.
Right. We'll be back to this point, but I would like you to comment on those photos.
That perfectly explains who we are as people and how we are together. It is a family, and
our first event ever, and that was during the workshop with the kids. This is okay. That was another in workshop picture where the kids from Darb Saada were working on crafty artworks and coloring and getting lost in their arts. Okay, this one is my favorite picture. I personally chose that one.
Right.
It's from our project in the Cancer Institute with the cancer patients. And this one was in the exhibition where the music team had Tayam Omar performing on stage. Okay, personal favorite. You go.
This perfectly explains us as people who worked really hard to make this happen, and we sit there and we talk about it, and we talk about the change we've made in the world. So this would be our very first talk where we're very intimate and very proud to have done something this big. It was like as the exhibition was about to come to an end.
And here another photo for you, Noor.
Yes. This was during our downtown tour, and this is our very first art day for the members and for the outcomers. It was perfect.
Back to the art exhibition.
Right, that was the first one, right. And back to you, Sarah, you were talking about your art exhibition.
So I was saying that almost more than 300 people attended the event, people from different art backgrounds and people who are established as artists in the art world today. We had people from really not very artistic backgrounds actually attending that day and appreciating what we do and seeing the message to what we do and seeing that there could be something very powerful in what we do in our work. The highlight of this day and why it is will always be a milestone is because it was the first time that Egypt actually appreciated art and they actually saw that you could do something with your art. It was a very emotional day because we got to like finalize our year and like say, ha, we did it. So this is why the art exhibition is very special for us all.
Right. Noor, would you tell me if there is any special thing about your organization that has inspired you as an artist?
Okay, it's definitely the spirits and like the beauty of the souls we meet is definitely the uniqueness of every individual. So it's stuff like that matters to me the most. They have made me develop as a person and get inspired by just like existing and being who they are. That did it for me. It simply did.
Right. Sarah, as a president, how do you plan and lead so many artists within your organization? How do you inspire them?
Okay. It all starts with believing other person's capabilities and their potential and what they could do. So to lead a person is not to actually command them to do something, but to actually bring them to believe in themselves and what they could do as people and how powerful what they believe in and love and are passionate about is. This is how I function mainly as a general strategy for a president. This is how I start to let people work and work under my lead. Planning the work is a very technical process that you don't want to get to here now.
Right.
But it really has to do with always carrying on and like being under pressure and not absorbing the pressure, but actually trying to fight back and spread positivity in return. And I think inspiring process has to do with believing in what you do. By believing in what you do, people it's contagious. They just get it and they carry it on themselves.
And how do they receive it? I mean, you say it's contagious. So you believe in what you do and you are able to inspire them. How do you see the receiving?
The receiving process happening, right? I think when we're during an event, when I'm in a meeting and I'm speaking about something I love so passionately and my voice goes very up and I'm very excited, this is how they carry it on. This is how in psychology energy is transmitted between people, I think. So I think it's by believing in what we do, me and Noor, when we're inside the thing and it's in action and we're very passionate about what we do and our members see us like that and they see what we do and they see the passion. I think this is how they carry it on.
Right. So when you're very passionate and believing in what you're doing, do you think this is the best way to deliver a message to the people around you?
Definitely.
This is how you inspire them.
Definitely, by embodying it.
Right. And I would just like to remind our viewers that we have a Facebook page, Today's Youth Facebook page. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can send us your suggestions on our Facebook page. And if you have a story you want to tell, you can just write on our Facebook page. Right, and back to you, Noor. Where do you see yourself after graduation? What are your dreams in real life, in your career?
Okay, I simply see myself as someone who's like owning a gallery who allows young artists to put whatever work they want to come and do whatever artwork they want to come and sing, to come and participate, to come and have creative writing workshops, to come and simply talk to other people about how far they've made it or how far they actually believe in themselves. I see myself as someone who actually wants to make a difference, who allows people to become themselves, because there's nothing much more comforting than when you allow someone to become themselves. It's something that gives you gratefulness forever. So I see myself doing stuff related to art, allowing people to become a part of this family through whatever it is, an NGO, a gallery, a house, whatever it is. I want people to feel that spirit.
Right, Sarah, what are your plans and dreams for the future?
My plans and dreams is to actually see young artists believing in themselves without requiring someone to tell them to believe in themselves. I really dream that Art Ghana would reach a position where everyone appreciates it, not because of it being an entity, but because of the message that we hold, and it is to appreciate art and to believe in the power that art could be inflicting upon people. I actually dream to see us as something that is international, and to see people carrying on what we do in different forms and different manners. For our artists to be international and to be very accomplished in what they do. And that's it.
Right, Noor, what message, in very brief, would you like to give to other younger artists, the youth like you, but I mean the younger ones? What message you would like to give them?
I tell them that everyone does have a story, and that they need to believe that their story should matter to them, and it should matter to everyone who wants to hear their story. And they do have something to say, whether in any kind of art they could put it in, they should follow that. They should have hope that they're going to change something in the world one day. Because once you start believing in yourself, I can promise them that there's nothing that's going to hold you back.
Sarah, you definitely have a message to the youth also.
Believing in themselves, because what brought me here today when I'm just 19 and I'm the president for people who are older than me, is actually believing that I could do something and not waiting for other people in the community and the entire society to tell me that I can do something. I just believed in myself, and this is where I am. And I think if young artists just believed, they could do much more than I did. So it's just to believe in themselves and what they could do.
Right, Sarah Ghaffar and Noor Ahmed, many thanks for joining us, and of course I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this we wrap up this edition of Today's Youth. Stay tuned to us next week, same time. Till then, it's goodbye.